he's pretty sharp. And I enter him like, I think he knows how to like line up on top, which was 6 months ago. I don't think he knew how to like exactly line up on top or bottom. So
yeah.
Okay, well, best of luck to Aussie Man Strong Boy. I thought he might be the one slowing down your internet, watching like truck videos or something.
No, he only watches. He's on his thing now, so he's switched to Transformer. He's only Transformers.
That's beautiful.
Caleb,
Transformer. No,
Caleb have a Transformers phase?
No, my son had the weirdest phases. He had it. My son. All right, you want to hear my son's Halloween costumes through the years?
Sure.
When he was 2 or 3, he wanted to be a clock because he was obsessed with clocks, and he would just watch clock videos. I swear, he would watch clock videos on YouTube.
What do you mean?
He would sit on my dad's lap or at our house and just watch videos of clocks, grandfather clocks. He would watch how the gears move. He was obsessed with like real clocks, not like the digital ones. Obsessed with clocks. And then the next year, he went as the United States of America, and Katie made him this United States. Then the next year, he went as
what a patriot.
The Earth. He was a globe. Wow. It's like
I like that.
2, 3, and 4 years old.
Good job.
Now he's gotten
Caleb.
He's gotten a little more normal. He's like baseball players now, which it makes more sense. Yeah, but his interest has always been weird. He's always watched like map videos and clocks, and now he's Rubik's cubes. He's a total. He's a one of a kind.
He's probably a little bit autistic. It's cool. Autistic. It makes you. I don't
think so.
Hey, listen. Just check it out, just in case.
Check it out. You have the hair trigger autism diagnoser.
Like, okay, listen. I'm gonna give you some advice here. So listen, if we don't have only things in common, so you and me and Bray, we have things in common. Easy to talk about. We talk for an hour and a half, 3 mornings a week.
Yeah.
But if we don't have anything in common, I can be a little bit socially awkward. And so my wife used to get mad about it all the time, and I used to just be like, listen, I'm sorry. I can't force myself to care about like the price of gasoline or the grocery store prices. I just can't care. Like, it's so hard. It's painful to me,
Ben, I feel the exact same way.
Okay. So you're probably a little autistic too.
I don't think so.
Caleb. So anyways, so then someone suggested I take this autism test, and I scored, likely to have a lot of highly autistic tendencies or something to that effect, It's not I just use that as an excuse all the time. I just say, Amy, I can't help it. It's my brain chemistry. It's how I was made.
Wow.
And then it gets me out of a lot of shit. Helps me. I actually just gave it to someone last week. I won't tell you who.
It's contagious?
You can't. I know.
Now you're infecting all these people with autism.
I gave the test to someone who I suspected, and they were... it was funny because they were saying the wife was saying the same thing to them about their interactions. Same issue that I had. I said, hey, listen, just take this test, and then you just tell her you can't help it because you're autistic. It's really simple.
So simple. Well, there you go. Diagnosis.
So Amy's got no recourse. She's got no recourse. Listen, I'm autistic. I can't help it.
How did you hit it off with her? She wasn't a wrestling expert when you met her, right?
Well,
you find a way to get interested in.
If there's something you're interested in, there's something you're interested in. Yeah. But for real, what helped me that she didn't see my social deficiencies was that I was in a college town and I had 40 other wrestlers I hung out with. I didn't hang out with anyone who wasn't really a wrestler, so we all had a lot in common.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right.
Now it's like,
a love story.
Neighbor Bill, who works in the office and wants to talk about gasoline prices, and I don't know. I can't do it. It makes me want to shoot myself.
Wow.
So then I just like sit there quietly.
Man, the struggles of Ben Asker. Don't talk fuel prices with Ben. We could lose him forever. Horrible. Just let it go. No, he doesn't care about the price of a barrel of oil. Move on.
You know what? And like last night, we had this. We talked about one position at wrestling practice, and I had so much fun because it was very intellectually stimulating because we were talking about something I'm very passionate about. And and this morning, I don't struggle with wrestling podcasts. I love talking about wrestling.
I agree.
That's good.
I agree with that. Okay.
Yeah. So you might as well take the test, Christian. We don't know about you.
That could be who knows who made that test though. Could be someone that benefits from autism diagnoses.
Well, I'm not gonna take any medicine. I love myself the way I am.
There you go. Me either. All right. So, some stuff to do.
Okay.
Why don't we start with our NCAA champions? Who we think they're going to be.
Let's do it. I have thought
And
about
why.
this, so I had all good answers.
And let's yell at each other. But you know what? At the end, we'll still be friends.
I actually think there's not that many weights that we're going to argue on. I've thought about this.
Yes, I agree. I agree that is possibly true. So, do you want to start at 125?
Yes. Spencer.
Okay.
Let's do it.
All right. Well, this one's sort of boring because
Spencer Lee, 4-time.
Spencer Lee, 4-time NCAA champion. But you have to say this. I think it is going to be the toughest field he has faced. Maybe.
If Soriano comes back.
If Soriano comes back. Because his freshman year, I think, is probably currently the toughest one he had to go through. Not just the fact that he was a freshman at that point in time, but it had a national champion, Cruz, a national champion, Tomasello, and Nick Soriano, who is now a national champion. In addition to others, Nick Piccinini and Lezak, etc. So this one would potentially rival it because it's got Vito, it's got Glory, and it will likely have Nick Soriano in it. That being said, if he's healthy-ish, healthy adjacent, we'll call it, he's going to win because his top game is sort of there's no one that can match it. His point scoring ability, right? There's guys that can maybe go a period with him from neutral, maybe, right? There's guys that can get takedowns on him, maybe. But are there guys that can end up underneath and weather that storm? Basically, that's not been the case throughout his almost the entirety of his career. There's very few guys he hasn't been able to turn. So you got to pick Spencer. I do think that if Soriano is there, I do think he's the finalist. I do think he beats Vito. That is a sort of a nerve-wracking match. Pat Glory is a full-on savage who probably 100% thinks he'll be the national champion. And the question for me is, do we think Spencer Lee runs the gauntlet undefeated again?
Yes.
You think so?
I mean, so obviously I said if Nick Soriano ever gets into a college, he's got to wrestle Nick 3 or 4 times potentially. That would be the one where I think you could probably maybe give him a percentage chance at winning. But I think it's way more likely than not that he goes undefeated.
Way more likely. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, if he wrestles his full schedule, yeah, it's tough to say. I mean, I do think he'll go undefeated, but we probably thought he was going to go undefeated his sophomore and junior year as well.
Yeah,
it didn't happen.
Yeah, I mean, it was kind of almost
he was undefeated
weird.
His junior year. He just didn't get to go.
Yeah, it was weird feeling looking back at his sophomore year where he lost 3 matches. It was like it almost felt like out of place. Like it shouldn't have been a thing, but it was.
Something was going on then, and it's been alluded to me. Mm-hmm. So, there was something happening. Is that health or injury? But Spencer's the kind of guy who just doesn't put it out there,
Yeah.
And whatever was going on, I think was a hindrance for sure. But yeah, Spencer Lee, undefeated champ. The question is, does he get another Hodge Trophy? And I don't know.
And he's got half right now.
Half?
Half.
He has 2 actually.
1.5. I meant from last year.
Well, I don't think that's how it works, Ben.
It's
actually, you don't know that. Actually, they literally do take it to a shop in Iowa, and when they split it and they cut it in half and they give it to 2 people.
Got it. Yeah,
they got to unite to make full power.
It'll be interesting to see a lot of these, not just Spencer Lee, but a lot of these guys that are coming back for that 5th year, or some of them 6th year, 7th year, like how much are they on a pitch count?
8th year.
Yeah, that's a good point. It'll be interesting to see how many of those guys are on a pitch count, and if they are, does that impact the Hodge? Gable Stevenson and Spencer Lee both are guys that could very reasonably get limited time. If they go like 15-0, is that will they give him the
It really
Hodge? I
should
don't know.
affect them if other people are. I mean, it affected Kyle Snyder. No one even really considered him for a couple of those years because he had, I believe, somewhere between 10 and 15 matches for the entirety of the year.
Well, his senior year he lost, and that hurt his
Junior
case.
and sophomore then?
And he was undefeated. Remember his sophomore year he didn't come out till January 1st. In his junior year he was undefeated, I believe, but he was, also at the Oregon and wrestling all over the place.
Yeah.
But also for Kyle, like he wasn't crazy dominant like Spencer is. Like he was not.
I mean, I'm gonna look him up to confirm that. So he was 77 and 73% bonus. His sophomore junior, he was 11-0 and then 17-0. So yeah, I mean not Spencer level stats, but I believe it was, it would have been, especially given the fact that he beat Gwizdowski the one year, stop him from being a 3-time state champ or 3-time national champ. I think that would have been, put into consideration that he may have won it that year.
And that was the year Ringer won. It was Ringer slightly over Zane.
So you got to think if that season Kyle wrestles a full season, he's got a decent chance at earning the Hodge.
Completely agree. Agree there. So that's 125. Spencer Lee, undefeated national champion. I'm not next topicing it. You really can't say another name, but you can't. It's not like the field's really, really good, and he's really he even then stands out amongst elite guys. But it's gonna be a thing. He's gonna have it to do. He's gonna have all the target is gonna be on his back more than ever. It's gonna be fun to watch them chase such an incredible wrestler. So 133, Roman Bravo Young, the returning national champion. Dayton Dwayne Fix, world silver medalist. DeSanchis on his vision quest. A host of others. We got shout out Virginia Tech's Corbin Myers. I think this is the year for Dayton. I think he gets.
I'm going Dayton.
He puts it together. Love RBY. I mean, he showed out. He was the rightful winner. I think that period of time for Dayton from NCAAs through trials and everything going on there was just, he was off. And like he said at trials this year, at World Team Trials, I'm back. And then he dominated. And you can say it's going to be hard to take down RBY. Very few people can do it. He's really fast. But I think combination of Dayton's neutral pressure, moving Roman around, which I don't think was there to the degree I expected. I don't know if he'll ride him out again like he did last time. I think Dayton finds a way to a takedown at this point in time. But it's not just because of how good he looked at Worlds and World Team Trials. I mean, I don't think Dayton was wrestling.
Oh, that's it for me.
Well, it is a factor, but think how close that match was with
the Nationals.
Double. Still,
yeah, but I mean, I guess I think that is if without that for me, I'm probably still picking RBY. But what that World Trials in the World showed me is he's a different guy, and this is where we think I wish he could stay at 61 and never do 57 again, because if you think of him at NCAAs, the Olympic trials was 2 weeks later. So his body was at a size into which he could make 57 kilograms, because you can't shrink your body in 2 weeks.
Man, that's a great point that I did not even, for whatever reason, consider.
He was 57 kilograms sized, and now he won't be. And we saw how different he looked, up 8 pounds. Because at that body weight, 8 pounds, that's like 6% of your body weight. I mean, it's significant. So yeah, that's why I'm picking him. I think it'll be really competitive. Actually, this weight class it would have been more fun if Stevan Micic was in here, but I'm still in for these two in the finals again. I'm picking Dayton Fix.
Yeah, it's crazy that we're in a time in wrestling and collegiate wrestling when someone who wins a senior level world medal, it's like maybe a coin flip if he can win an NCAA title. Like, certainly that's never been a circumstance for college wrestling.
The Dayton Fix John
no,
Smith
I don't think
comparisons
so.
are people are making those Dayton Fix John Smith comparisons. John didn't win a title, then went and had a really good performance at Worlds, came back, won a couple titles, and rattled off a crazy senior level career. Dayton, he looks so good. Roman's go behinds are so dangerous. They happen in a blink of an eye. And I think Dayton will have to respect that the next time they wrestle again. So the way that he was able to attack at Worlds, I don't know if he'll be able to do the same thing. But I'm still picking Dayton. Man, that matchup is so dangerous.
You know what thing I feel like we were sort of deprived is like those two, the scrambles they can do are like insane. Both are like incredible, but we didn't really get to see many leg exchanges there because they're both so tough to get to from their positioning. But I'm going Dayton this time.
Me too.
It could be reactionary, and I know folk style, freestyle, they are different, but I mean, it's just the odds of Dayton going 0 for 3 at NCAAs. I just can't picture it.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, 141.
Brad, you picked Dayton. Oh, yeah,
Yep.
man, everyone. RBY's got to put some bulletin board material up, boys.
Dang, print out the show. We messed up, probably. Who knows? Won't be the first time. 141. This is a great
this was
opportunity to mess
fun.
up. Because, one, you gotta shoot your shot and say where you think Yanni D is going. Mm-hmm. And then you got to say if he's winning the weight or not. I sort of don't think he goes 41. And I think if we see him at 41, it's going to be like EIWAs and NCAAs. And I don't know if he's going to want to do that. I think he's going to go 149. I think that's the weight that makes sense for him. I think if you're a 65, it makes sense to be a 49 that comes down rather than a 41 that moves up. Or maybe it makes no difference at all because you're as big as you are. But I think for Cornell, I don't think it makes a huge difference for their lineup if he goes 41 or 49. And the construction of the weight, I mean, look at 149. How are you, if you're Yanni, and he would probably never think like this, but man, rather roll the dice. Sammy Sasso's amazing, but he matches up terrible with Yanni. So why would you not go up there versus Nick Lee, who has beaten you, not in folk style, but still, Jay Nyerman has beaten you in folk style. And then you've got guys like Sebastian and Stevan in there. So I think he goes up. I don't think he goes up for that reason, but I think it is a factor in the many reasons he ends up moving up. Ben, your thoughts?
Well, you got to make a pick first.
Okay, I think Nick Lee wins it this time. Again.
Okay. I'm picking Yanni.
Oh,
Really?
Ben's got inside info too.
No, I do not.
What? Yeah, you do. You got the info.
Oh, maybe I do. It said there was no certainty, but there was a leaning. There was a leaning, and I'm picking the leaning.
Mm.
Well, that changes everything. I thought he was going to go 49 for sure. And if he's 41, I'm picking Yanni. I don't know if I can do an either-or situation. But without Yanni, I think it might be really foolish. But if Yanni's not here, I think I'm going to pick Ironman. Man, Nick Lee looks so good at the Olympic trials. Nick Lee looked so good at the Olympic trials. He had, from like what it sounded like, he had more takedowns on Zayn in that match than he has in the room for the last however many years.
Yeah.
And if he can sustain that jump that he made at the Olympic trials, then it's a fool's errand to pick against him. I like the things that Ironman can do. I like the danger he presents. The way he was able to win their match at Big Tens. I think he can do that again. So if there's no Yanni, I'm going to go Ironman. But if there is, I'm going Yanni.
I'm picking Nick Lee. Still,
Even if Yanni's in the field.
I feel okay about it. It's not gonna wouldn't be my first pick, but I'm gonna pick Yanni to win 149.
Yeah.
Maybe he doesn't go up, but if he does, if he does, I think he's a pretty big favorite. Nick Lee. It's tough when you have these freestyle results and like you have to try to, how much weight does that? But that's Yanni's best style, at least,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I'm going with Nick Lee here at 141.
Nice.
Even though-
141 is beast, man. Savan Michik
it's
all the way down to
ridiculous.
5 is hilarious.
I'm also
He was
like,
the number 1 seed in the Olympics, and he can't be even in the top 4 in the rankings.
yeah, that's insane. You know, I also look at this weight. I'm like, there's no way we're gonna get a weight this fun. It's impossible. See, it can't happen. So
You mean someone's gonna get hurt or
someone's gonna move up,
ineligible or
no,
move
like,
up?
Nick will move up or something, or Yanni will move
It
up.
does make sense for. Well, okay, so here's the funny thing about, and I don't know if most people realize this about the way the NCAA team thing works. So if the weight class is super tough, but you got like a super savage, you want them in the really tough weight class because they're more likely to knock everybody down, right? But if your guy's just like pretty good, then the chances that he gets knocked out or there's someone good on the front side that gets knocked out is decent. There's a decent chance, and so if the next weight class up is weaker, you'd be more likely to bump to the next weight class because there's a decent chance he could finish high, right?
Right.
So like with the Yanni situation, I think like I inserted him as the favorite at 141, despite the fact that it's really, really difficult. And so if I take him out, then all of those people move up one placement, right? And those are teams that'll be in Penn State, Iowa, Michigan, will all be in the team component of the ranking. So if you have the ability to move them all down, right, some placement points, that's a good thing. Whereas then at 149, when you're looking down at Murin, Andonian, Sherman, Abbas, that 5 through 8, if you have someone who's kind of pretty good, they might be able to sneak in there. When you're thinking about like at one weight class, right, Stevan Micic is the 5. At the other weight class, Jaden Abbas is the 5. Like I'm probably gonna try to sneak in at the Jaden Abbas 5.
Yes. No, that makes
yeah. It's another way to think about it.
So quite a few landmines in this. You got someone like Real Woods down at 11.
Dude.
Dom Demas at 13.
Wait. Oh, we're talking about 41 or 49 now?
Well, that is the weight we were on.
41. Okay.
Dude, and then Carter.
I got confused because I thought you moved.
Oh my gosh, Carter Young.
Carter Young is starting?
Well,
I said, was there any secret you have to tell me before the show? And you guys didn't tell me Carter Young was starting.
That's not a secret. I mean, it's something we have theorized about, and I have no new information about it. But you got to figure they're gonna put him out there.
Man, sometimes I think with this. So this year specifically, the fields are probably going to be I don't want to say the toughest ever. I don't want to exaggerate, but maybe the toughest ever because no one freaking graduated.
Right.
And so if you have a red shirt this year, why not just let it clear out a little bit? Unless your team is in serious title contention, and with the team that Iowa has, and honestly, when you look at Michigan's team and Penn State's team, those 3 teams, think about all the dudes from those 3 teams who will be clearing out after this year. I mean, Iowa loses, I think, 6 of their 10 starters after this year. Mm-hmm. Michigan's going to lose a really large portion, and Penn State loses 2 national champions. So I think it's like, man, let those best teams clear out a little bit, and then I don't want to say punt the year, but like, man, if you got some red shirts, I really don't see why you would use them, because you're essentially fighting over that 4th place trophy.
Yeah, but I mean, sometimes it's not just about that; it's about there's other considerations. And I don't think it's just the trophy thing. If
really, ready, I mean, I feel like it's if the kids. This was my argument, and I don't really see the other side, but like, if I can be more ready in a year, and this was kind of my thing, is like I could have started as a freshman in Missouri, but I know next year I'm going to be so much better than I am this year. So why not wait? Why not wait a year? Let myself improve, be patient, and then have 4 years to go. And I know the one argument would be the injury thing, which it's like, I don't know, kind of like, how do you count on that? How do you count on yourself being injured at some point? It's kind of, I don't want to say silly, but it's hard to count on that. So why not give myself the year to improve?
Yeah, I mean, in the case of Carter Young, it's like, dude, you just beat Seth Gross, Tyler Graff, Nashawn Garrett, all these guys. Like,
red shirts are for preparation and getting ready, and he's prepared, right? And if they decide to use,
but he's gonna be better. He's gonna be better next year. I mean, do we not agree?
And he'll
on
wrestle
that?
and he can wrestle next year.
But okay, so then it would be okay. So what is this year's 2021, 22. So 25, 26, you can agree that in 25, 26, he's likely to be better than he is this year in 21, 22.
Likely. Possible.
Likely.
Possibly not.
I mean, there's some people who have really bad lifestyle habits who you could see, and this is where like I don't want to.
Was Cade better his freshman year or his fifth year?
Well, yeah, I mean, he would be an exceptional case, and there's obviously exceptional.
I don't know.
Cases,
I think a lot of people by 5 years of college wrestling are like not the same person.
What percentage do you think is better their first year than their fifth year? I mean, it's got to be way over 50. I mean, like I said, and especially if we take the bad lifestyle habits, like the kids who don't really like wrestling and they want to go party all the time, like, yeah, those guys are maybe going to deteriorate and not have a passion, so they're not going to get better. But the kids who really like wrestling and they want to be in the rooms, man, they're so much likely to get better than worse.
Yeah. My girl likes to party all the time.
No way. I don't believe it about Katie.
It's an Eddie Murphy song, but yeah. But she's
Eddie Murphy's a singer?
Yeah, he has a song, right?
What?
It's old. Murphy, party all the time. My girl likes to party all the time. Yeah, it's great.
You're talking about the comedian and actor?
Yeah, my girl wants to. Here's the chorus. My girl wants to party all the time, party all the time, party all the time.
Wow. Triple threat.
Eddie Murphy?
Yeah.
What in the world? Was this one of the Milli Vanilli things where someone else really sang it?
It's from his hit album, How Could It Be? Released in 1985.
Eddie Murphy has a hit album?
Well, I'm
what
sure
in the world?
Yeah. Listen to it. Play it during the your little ninjas practices. They'll love it.
Oh man, those guys. Oh man, they give me a headache. It's so funny.
Okay. Yeah, you're right. I mean, in general, seniors outperform freshmen. That is true.
Sure.
But you're in the room at Oklahoma State with the guy that just won as a true freshman last year, AJ Ferrari, and that was a really big piece in them bringing home a trophy. Which those coaches are competitive. They want to do that every year. So
yeah, but you know what? I'm back. This weight is insane. It's ridiculous. It's a ridiculous weight class for a true freshman.
Yes, think about think about this. Next year, if he just waits 1 year, Nick Lee graduates, Jay Nyerman graduates, Sebastian Rivera graduates, Stevan Mijic graduates, Dylan Duncan, Dresden Simons, Chad Redd. Freaking wait a year.
Dom Demas.
The idea of Yanni being around 41 for 2 more years, I think is sort of far-fetched too. Although wait, does he have to be done after this year? No, he gets one more year.
Well, what about the school component?
Yeah, that's what I was kind of saying. But no, he can come back. Gray will have it all figured out.
Got it all figured out. Okay.
So, all right. I'm going with Nick Lee. 149. We got, well, for me, I'm projecting Yanni to go up, but Ben thinks he'll stay down. More to come there. But if Yanni goes up, I've got him. If you don't,
all right.
I got Samuel Sasso.
I got Sammy Sasso. You know what's crazy about this? Now we have Yaya at 3 and Tariq at 2. Yaya was the 25 seed last year. As crazy as that sounds. So yeah, if you want to make some noise, I think this weight class is going to be a lot easier to make some noise at than 141.
Yeah, no doubt about that.
I got Sasso here.
Yeah, I mean, if it's Sasso on his own, yeah, I think it's tough. I mean, someone like Yaya matches up actually pretty well against Sammy. They've had some crazy matches in the past.
Sammy has limited. I mean, Sammy's stuff is going to be getting more and more difficult because he does have a limited offensive ability. He's not super dynamic.
Yeah.
And so he, really to increase his scrambling ability, he needs to be able to put in more offensive threats with his scrambling ability, and that will really increase the effectiveness that he can put on the mat.
Of note, he beat Yaya 8-3 at NCAAs.
But didn't they have an overtime match at Big Tens?
The year before.
That was the year before, okay.
Yes. Yaya had a bad Big Tens, I'm pretty sure. which is why he had such a bad season. Yeah, he went. I think so. Yeah, he beat Kanzler. He lost to Storr, beat Bartlett, then lost to Rooks and Perriott at Big Tens, and then got third.
That was Sasso?
That was no.
Oh, sorry, that was I mean,
yeah.
Wow. Damn, I didn't realize that.
Then he goes to NCAAs, beats Jay Nabis, Legend Lamer, loses to Sasso, beats Mitch Moore, Jay Nabis again, Brock Mahler, and Bulu Allen.
Oh my God.
Legend. The legend of Yaya.
The legend of
You don't want this guy. You do not. I mean, I know he's not like a dark horse. He's literally
but I mean, Yaya would be. I don't want to say the same, but different to me as Sammy Sasso.
Limited.
In that he has limited offensive capabilities, so he tends to have a lot. I mean, listen to his matches last year. I'm going to skip the first one: 4-0, 4-1, 3-2, 8-4, 3-2, 13-4, 3-2, 8-2, 4-3 in overtime, 7-5 overtime, 3-2, 2-1 overtime, 6-2, 10-4. I mean, right? They're all pretty damn close.
Yeah. He's just hard to score on. He's got good offense, safe offense, and that can go pretty far. But you can see both. I mean, 2 weeks apart, completely different performances.
It can go both ways. The less exchanges there are in matches. I always bring this up to kids because sometimes kids have this problem where they're really good, but they have limited output, and so. If it's a factor of exchanges, right? So the more better I am than you, the more exchanges I want to happen. So Christian, if you and I are, say I'm an 88 and you're a 20, I win 80% of the exchanges. Okay. If we make 10 exchanges happen, I win 8, you win 2. The point differential is going to be very large, right?
Right.
But if we only have one exchange, just one, 2 out of the 10 matches, you're going to win. Yeah. Despite the fact that I'm significantly better than you, because it's a limited amount of exchanges. So I always try to stress to kids, if you really think you're better than this dude, go make a lot of exchanges happen because you're going to win. If you're really better, you're going to win the exchanges. You mean you can't be totally reckless and careless, but you got to make the exchanges happen.
Yeah. That was like a lot of people's thoughts and something we said a lot about Jordan Oliver back in the day. When everyone felt like this is the best guy at this weight class and collegiately and then in freestyle, it's like, man, if you're in more exchanges, you're probably going to come out on top of those. Just make something happen. And just one of his things is just like he was a little more protective, and we think that hindered him. And then, that was like the 2012, 13, 14 conversations about Jordan. I remember those vividly. Okay, so 49, I'm picking Yanni.
Got it.
It's Sasso for me, dog.
Sasso and Ben's Sasso.
Big Sasso.
Honorable mention, Bryce Andonian, Virginia Tech. Just bombing everyone. En route.
Lat drop falls everyone to the finals.
Yes. Yes, with the good flow. And, thinking about this I don't know where I was going with that. I'll keep it moving. All
right, let's go 57.
57. Okay, this is a crazy one. This weight is stupid. David Carr, Austin O'Connor. You got 2 NCAA champions right there. You've got Ryan Deacon, Ja'Cory Teamer, Brayton Lee. I mean, these are some savages.
Some good choices here. You could. I think it'd be a hard time explaining a Brayton Lee. I think the performance Ja'Cory gave us kind of at the end of last season, you could make some arguments for him, but I think it's more limited to the top 3. Deacon is someone who he gave David Carr the business. Now it was 2020 at CKLV, but it did happen.
Which was 2019.
December. So it's 2019, 2019 December. O'Connor, I don't know that we've seen these guys against each other for a very long time. I'm going to go the safe way, I guess. I'm not going to be doing anything crazy. I'm going to go David Carr.
So they've wrestled before in freestyle. I think they've wrestled actually a lot of times. They wrestled at Super 32 as well.
Carr and O'Connor. Yeah, they wrestled at Super 32. David Carr got that win.
That was the Super Duck one, right?
I think so.
So it's a tough one because I think O'Connor has actually a kind of a good style for someone like Carr, but I'm not going there. I'm sticking with David to win.
No thought on Deacon?
No. You know,
No.
I'm not saying he can't, but I'm not. I've seen the NCAA movie. You know,
Okay.
at some point, and like
You
David,
mean with Deacon coming up a little short?
yeah, he got pin slayed by Della Vecchia. That was not on anyone's radar. And
You know what was crazy? He got beat by Caleb Young twice.
That happened too.
That was my brain could not wrap around that one. That was hard for me.
That's one of the most referred to results in FRL history. Because every time
I couldn't deal with it.
Every time we talk about
my head hurt.
yeah, because anytime you talk about Ryan Deacon or Caleb Young, that gets mentioned. I feel like I kind of want to retire that take, but it
But you can't because it happened.
But
happened.
Now, in Deacon's defense, the guy was 21-0 in 2020. Didn't get a chance to wrestle at NCAA's.
Right.
Was 62% bonus, and then had just a one loss, and it was getting pinned. I don't know. Getting beat in a position happens to people sometimes, and that's all it took.
Not me.
That's a good point. It's oh man, I think like Deacon still. I mean that Della Vecchia loss was the only loss he had. He still came back and took third. Wasn't like he was super convincing in that third place match with Teamer. It was 1-0, but
and he had a really close one. Who was the? I don't want. I was almost about to use some politically incorrect terms. The very short person.
Jared Franick.
Yes, that one, because he almost lost that one too.
5-4. Yeah, that's true. That's true. I mean, that whole tournament kind of made me wonder about the weight cut and just what was going on there. But it's a different guy. Maybe Big Tens to NCAAs. Yeah. He was major 6-0 at Big Tens against Cleary, Coleman, and Young, and then things tightened up.
He beat Brayton Lee 12-0 too. That was like a serious beatdown.
He also majored Brayton Lee at NCAAs on the backside 8-0.
All right, sounds like now just do it.
I don't know. I can't do it, but I do. I kind of think he is just as big a threat. I think all three of these guys at the top are a very big threat. I'm gonna go with Carr, but I do think Deacon is somebody I'm strongly considering. Deacon, O'Connor, and Carr are all like right.
How do we
there.
think Deacon O'Connor goes? There's high potential for that being a semifinal.
I'd actually pick Deacon on that one.
Yeah, I might too. Could it be a Carr? Could be a Carr Deacon. I really strongly believe it's those three, and I think Jacory's a guy that could pick one of them off, but him running an NCAA gauntlet. Now Ollie may try to fight me, but as he rides hard for Jacory, but I just don't see him going through a quarter semifinal through all those guys.
Yeah, that's gonna be tough. I agree. I think we're gonna probably see that semi O'Connor, Deacon.
Yeah, no doubt. So, yeah, I'm sticking with Carr. My confidence about Deacon has waned based on all the information you guys are putting up there, making me a little less confident in. Not that I'm dismissive. He's good enough to win this weight. I'm pretty sure I picked him to win this weight last year, and yeah, I just think it's Carr.
I agree.
And Ben, you picked David as well?
I picked David as well.
Okay. 165.
Weight.
Oh my gosh. Hold on to your butts. Shane Griffith, Jake Wenzel, Alec Marinelli, Evan Wick, Keegan O'Toole.
Yeah, I know it sucks for me. Because these are, I mean, if there's a few of my favorite guys who would be in real title contention, two of them are at the same weight class. So, unfortunately, I have to pick one of them. I'm picking Keegan over Evan in the finals. They're beating all other people.
Wow.
And having to wrestle in the finals.
You think
it's really not that far-fetched?
No. Just kind of far. It's not a fairy tale. But it's maybe a tall tale.
I mean, why it's not kind of? I mean, it's not really that far because Evan, obviously Keegan has made significant improvements since taking third last year, evidenced as by a junior world title. Evan has continued to make huge improvements. Right? He plays very highly at the Olympia team trials. He got beat up. He's not all that competitive yet with Dake, Burrows, or Nolf, but with everyone else, he does really well.
Man, I mean, a guy that I'm putting in the Wick O'Toole sort of strata is Carson Cartella. I think he is super in the mix there, provided he's back healthy fully. All that you gotta. I really think this is tough. I mean, Griffith, he did the thing right. He went through Marinelli. He went through Wenzel. He's lost like once as a varsity wrestler, I think, too. He lost to Valencia, which, Stanford's year last year is so crazy. The fact that he won a title is just still an unbelievable thing, and picking against him is really tough. So I don't want to do it yet. But Bray, who are you going to pick?
I am going to pick Keegan O'Toole.
Really?
Yeah.
My gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah!
I
Suck it, Piles! That's what I'm talking about.
Why do I have to suck it? I didn't even pick anyone. Oh my gosh.
The
Spin's out of control.
I think Keegan physically like has matured. I think some of the positions he was in last year with Wenzel, it's like it just seemed like a little bit of a power disadvantage, and man, looking at the way that he navigated that super tough Junior Worlds bracket, and the way that he got to his cradles in that tournament against guys that like he shouldn't have been able to on paper he shouldn't be able to cradle was really, really incredible to see. I just think he's made. I think seeing him this summer made me believe he's probably made some of the adjustments, and then also his body has caught up a little bit maturity wise. And for that reason I'm gonna pick him. But I'm very curious to see what Wick looks like on a folk style mat. It's been a little bit since we've seen him. He'll be at Michigan State Open this weekend, and he could get some really tough matches.
He is?
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Nice.
He told Bader yesterday on the Bader show.
Oh, sweet.
We could see, like, we're going to learn a lot about this weight class really soon.
I mean, I can tell you, I can tell you this for sure. So I wrestled Evan Wick when I first started working at the RTC up there. So that would have been right after he took third place. But we're talking, was it 2019? 2019?
Yeah.
2018.
Could have been 19.
2018. Yeah. Okay. Versus I wrestled with him a handful of times right before he left this year. May and June, he was so much more powerful. Obviously just growing up and just the way he felt was so much better than when he. And it's crazy to think that I don't want to say I kind of manhandled him when in 2018, but I kind of did. He was kind of kid feeling where he just wasn't that strong, and I could kind of overpower every situation in 2018, and that wasn't nearly the case here in 2021. He was just so much more powerful and super strong.
Dang.
Yeah.
Yeah,
huge improvements.
I really can't wait to see what he looks like this weekend at Michigan State Open. We're gonna get, I think we're gonna get a Shane Griffith, Travis Whitlake match next week. Stanford, Oklahoma State duel. We're gonna learn a lot about this weight class very soon. I still wonder if there's a world where Marinelli pulls it all together in his senior year and gets it done. I know we haven't seen that in his NCAA performances, but man, if he can figure it all out, there's a world where he's the guy with his hand raised at the end.
So I think the case for Keegan, it's sort of obvious, but there's also another point that wasn't made, which is this is a guy that thought he was going 157 last year and was basically that size, and now he knows
he actually did go 157.
He did
too.
Yeah, he did throughout the season, and remember. He didn't go 157 in November, October. The season started in January.
Yeah.
So literally in 2 months, he had to get bigger and stronger. And you're not going to get that big. So that is another point in Keegan's favor. But the bottom line for me is I want to pick Keegan. Definitely my favorite guy here. But I just think what Griffith did under adverse training scenario, situation, all the stuff going on, I've got to stick with him. He got it done. He went through through Marinelli, who was the favorite, in a lot of people's eyes going into that tournament. Pretty sure he was the 1 seed. For that reason, I'm going with him. I mean, Wenzel was a revelation last year. How great he was, and someone like I think there's some landmines for Keegan. I think someone like Wenzel is going to be tough for him. I think someone like Karchla is a tougher matchup than
yeah. Cartella is a wild card because he's someone that we were saying last year could challenge for the title.
100%.
But the one thing we still haven't seen out of him, because we haven't seen him really wrestle, is how good are the top bottom skills? Because when we saw him run through Fargo and then we saw him at Who's Number One, those were both freestyle matches.
Well, in RTC Cup, he beat Mekhi Lewis soundly.
Yeah, freestyle match.
He looked good. I think for Karchla, one thing that if you're just looking at him versus Keegan, it's he can get to legs and he's a more safe finisher, a la kind of how Wenzel does. Like he's going to be able to neutralize some of the scrambles. We'll see to what degree, I mean, Keegan O'Toole is one of these guys where his arc is insane, and we'll learn a lot more coming into the year. But all that being said, my heart says Keegan, my brain says Sugar Shane did the thing last year, and he's only going to be more prepared this year. So
where's Cartella going to be this weekend? Bray, is he wrestling?
Yeah, I think he'll be at Michigan State Open too.
Oh my gosh!
Ohio
Really?
State,
So we can have Wick versus Karchla?
Wick versus Cartella
it's
this
possible.
weekend?
Ohio State tends to send a good group there. Not sure if he'll be there. We should have registrations on the site today for Michigan State Open.
What other teams are there? I mean, is there anyone else we could throw in that group?
So there are teams
Cam
where
Amin?
Cam Amin.
Dean Hamidi.
Hamidi could be there. It's on the schedule for Michigan, Oklahoma, Troy Man. Could see Troy Man. Northwestern, Illinois, Central Michigan.
How many mans are there?
Cal Poly.
There's so many mans.
Four men.
Their parents procreated a lot.
4 times to my knowledge.
At least 4.
At least 4. Well, are there any girl mans?
I don't know. We should find out.
We'll have to look.
But Ohio State, I don't think it's on this. The Open is not on their schedule, but they tend to send people to the Michigan State Open. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see them. Purdue tends to send people. It's not on their schedule, but they tend to see that. Also, just got a reminder. No, we're not going to see Karchla because North Carolina is wrestling Ohio State in a duel on Saturday. So.
Yeah,
we will not see. So we will not see them this year. We probably won't see their starters this year. We could see some of their backups.
I can't wait for that duel.
Yeah.
Do we have lineups for that duel? Is there any really good match? I mean, Sasso, Zach Sherman, I guess.
There's not a ton of marquee matchups, but it should be an interesting duel. I mean, you're gonna learn so much about both teams, right? Like where are they at?
Patty versus O'Connor will be fun if we see Patty's real deal, Bubba.
I don't think they're going to pull
you rolled your eyes?
I didn't roll them. I'm it was more of a thoughtful, sometimes I look up when I'm thinking. I don't think we'll see Patty yet, if we see him at all. I think.
Really?
My opinion is they'll go into it being it'd be good to redshirt him. And then 157 is not going to be what they need it to be. They're going to get antsy. And Patty's going to be killing everybody. They'll be okay, let's do it. That's my opinion.
Yeah.
Really?
But maybe they're maybe they want to hang on and maximize their eligibility for their hammers so that when they get this super class coming in, they maximize their time in the lineup together.
Not a bad idea because they ain't winning a trophy this year.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
Kozak broke down that duel. We can talk about that later. But I know we still got some champs to pick.
We got some champs to pick.
Wait, hold on. I got one more question.
Okay,
I got ADHD. I can't help. If he doesn't wrestle in the duel and he goes to the Michigan State Open, who does he have there? There's some good matches for him at
for
Patty Gallagher.
Patty
Gallagher. I'm very curious to see how good he is.
Yeah.
Me too.
So at 57, if Gallagher does go there.
Luan.
Yeah, Luan.
Deacon, potentially.
Oh, my gosh.
Potentially. That'd be interesting. Kendall Coleman, potentially. Purdue has sent guys there in the past.
Will Little Wick be in the mix yet?
I
Well,
think he may be 49.
Okay.
Maybe he's
Yeah,
57.
but also this would not be if they're redshirting. Like, if you're redshirting and you're close, you're probably going to go because you can drive, but they still can't pay for non-varsity travel.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see. Anybody else you could see there? I think SIUE may be there, and Justin Ruffin's not bad. So he could see some rank guys.
Nice.
Okay. So I got Shane. You guys both picked Keegan.
Yeah.
I'm the Keegan hater. What is happening? There's a lot of good. I would have been happy if like you spun a wheel and you could get Bull or you get Shane, Keegan, or even Wenzel.
Spin a wheel, he says.
Spin the wheel. But I'll take Shane.
Okay.
174. I think Kimmer gets it done. I think I picked Lee to kind of hold off Ironman, but I think if it flips back at 174 for the Iowa-Penn State rivalry, I think it's Kimmer's year. I love how much offense he has. I don't think he showed it in that finals match, and Starachi's only going to get better. And maybe this is foolish because Carter already – I mean, look what he did in freestyle just this at the trials. He looked great, right? I mean, shoot, he beat Nolf, right?
Jason Nolf.
My gosh, what am I doing?
That's crazy.
What am I doing?
Yeah,
with my life?
what are you doing?
And I'm abandoning our guy too.
Who's your guy?
Starachi. I mean, we've been championing Carter.
We did. We called it. Everyone else can suck it. We called
way
it.
on back. So you say what you want about me. My allegiance and my recognition of Carter's greatness has been known for years. But I just think Kimmer, he goes out on top one time. I think it happens now. Mekhi Lewis, Hayden Hidley. Oh my gosh, this weight is maybe tougher to call than 65, but maybe not.
Well, you know why it's more challenging than some of these other weights. So 165 is challenging for the same reason this one is, and the reason would be that in a folk style match, we're mixing up weight classes. We're having some fun here. So we got the 74 pounders, we got the 65 pounder, we got a 57 pounder in here. And I'm going to pick a dark horse. I'm picking the 57 pounder. I'm picking Hayden Hidley to get it done this year. 6 year. Let's go, Hayden.
I would love to see that.
That'd be cool. If he goes up 2 weights and wins, that'd be nuts.
That'd be super fun.
Baby.
I'm going Starachi. I'm going Starachi in this weight.
Yeah, probably.
Probably
smart. He won as a freshman.
I think he has so much offensive potential that he hasn't. That last year he didn't even start to tap into. That's the thing that was encouraging to me to see him freestyle. Like he's starting to pull the trigger a little more against really good guys. He had a lot of super close matches last year, and I think that was partly a product of just getting in the lineup for the first time, figuring things out. And I kind of expect that in typical Penn State fashion, we're going to see his offensive output increase. And I think if that happens, he's going to be really tough to beat.
Man, I really picked Michael, didn't I? I did that. I'm not going to take it back, Ben. You're not even going to bait me into it. I'm not doing it.
Listen, Kemper could definitely win, but Iowa's track record for guys winning at the end. We got Tony Ramos and Jesse Whitmer.
What? What are you talking about? I don't think that's quite the case.
Dude, Kimmer beat
Who
him
else?
7-2.
Who else won? Who else
Brent
won
Metcalf?
late that didn't win early?
Jay
won
Borschel?
early.
Oh, that didn't win
Oh,
early.
Jay Borschel. That
Well,
didn't win early. That one late.
Metcalf
Jay
lost
Borschel will be one.
Metcalf lost at Big Tens, and then got it done
Senior.
at NCAAs as a senior.
But he won as a sophomore, so he was on that level.
Yeah.
He won his first year eligible.
Okay.
So you got Jay Borschel, Tony Ramos, and Jesse Whitmer.
Well, you put me on the spot. I'm not sure. There could be
Who
others.
else you got?
I don't know.
We got Iowa fans in the chant. Iowa fans, what do you got for me?
St. John won it his junior
Shut
year, and then he was, it was his junior year, because he had the DT year, then he had the Dake year, where he actually gave him kind of a relatively competitive match, and then he won. He beat Welch in the finals that one year. He said, "How about it?"
How about
All
it?
right. So that's 74. 84 is easier for me because it's AB all day as his
Easier
Twitter
for me
handle.
too. Parker Keckheisen.
Boom. I've got Brooks. Brooks is the
I actually kind of think you were gonna pick Miles and me, and is that kind of what you thought you were gonna do?
no way.
So we're
Brooks
gonna see I believe Parker and Aaron Brooks are gonna wrestle at that national duels that they're having December 21, 22, which I'm very excited for.
Parker and Brooks will wrestle.
Believe so. Hold on.
They
I'm
didn't
also
hit
gonna.
They did not hit last year at NCAAs, right? Or did they?
No, they did in the set. It was a 6-4 loss for Parker.
It's not bad.
Not bad.
I think Brooks is only getting better. Not that Parker isn't.
Well, I think Parker's only getting better. Although his hairline's receding. Sorry, Parker, had to make that joke. But I
Wow.
think he's still getting better.
This phenomenon of
Terrible friend.
Yeah, you're a bad friend. Not everyone has the flow like you, Ben.
I haven't lost a hair yet. My wife's Max. I said, you can't find one hair that's gone. Try to find one, Amy. Can't find one. No hair's gone yet.
Yeah,
37.
that's good. Good genes, except for the
Great gene.
ADHD and the autism and whatever else you're gonna diagnose yourself.
Love
with.
handles. Love handles.
love handles.
I could have done without those.
I'm just noticing this is not related to a championship pick. Bernie Truax is
Oh, boy.
up at 84. He started his
Yeah.
college. He started his college career at 149.
He's on that Hayden Zilmer train.
Hey, my buddy John Veal in the chat commented that Corey Clark was another Iowa guy.
There you go.
John Veal has a very cute kid in my ninjas class, but he's not a 5-year-old anymore, so he's not too much of a pain in the butt. He works pretty hard. He listens pretty well because he's an 8-year-old now. Once they get older, they're good.
He's a wise 8-year-old.
Yeah.
He does a good job. He has good. He already asked pretty good questions for an 8-year-old.
Really?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Man, sounds awesome.
Oh yeah.
I think this is Aaron Brooks. I'm going with Brooks.
I mean, Brooks is gonna sooner than later. He's gonna be one of the top guys at 86 in America, right? He's gonna be the one nipping it at David's heels at some point. I think.
Yeah. Amin's really interesting. I kind of think it could be a Hidley rematch in the finals with Brooks, though.
Hidley, he did well. He beat Miles in freestyle, but how will that translate to folk style? I don't know.
Yeah.
And also Miles at RTC Cup versus Miles at the Olympic Games is a pretty different sort of thing.
Yeah.
And I thought Miles was going to win 197. I picked him to win that, but I think 84 is a little tougher.
Yeah.
84 has Brooks. That's the difference for me.
You're a big Brooks guy. Big Brooks guy.
Yeah, I picked him to win as a freshman. He didn't get to try, but then he won last year.
The other thing, I don't want to pick on Bray too much. He's right there, so don't hurt him or nothing.
Don't
These
listen to this.
rankings, and I don't know if you're listening to the school websites, but like Aaron Brooks is listed as a junior when he would still have 3 more years of eligibility. But Parker, for example, is still listed as a freshman, and he does have 4 more years of eligibility. So I don't know if it's like by what their school website lists them by, but it does make it kind of, I don't know, it's a little bit confusing sometimes on
Yeah.
these.
Well, I'm not offended because Spay and JD do these rankings. So
Yeah.
this is it's terrible. It's
Yeah.
really
Freaking Spay and JD, you idiots.
Hack job.
Yeah, so, but maybe they just upload it from whatever the school lists them as maybe that's what it is.
dude, what year somebody is in school doesn't mean anything anymore. This is like
Hurt your brain.
Yeah.
Man. All right, 197 time. The boys ranked Max Dean over the bearded dragon, for Penn State. So they're shooting their shot there. And I said at the end of the day, I think it will probably be Max. I think maybe it could be Michael in the beginning, and then Max will scratch and claw his way into the lineup. That's my theory.
Oh.
But the guys in the mix here: AJ, Max Dean, Jacob Warner, Nino Bonacorsi, Rocky Elam, Jake Woodley, the GOAT Ben Darmstadt, Pat Bruckey, Cordell Norfleet, and there's one other name I didn't say yet.
Yeah, and I'm taking that name.
Ex-Namus.
Braxtonius. Braxton, Mineral Wells, Parkersburg South. Do we do it? I mean, we're doing it off of a match against Buffalo where he did not look like a national champion right then and there his first time down at the weight.
Well, if you're doing it, you got to do it now because we're making picks in the next 10 minutes.
Yeah, we got to do it. Well, I'm not going first. I'll give the floor to Benjamin.
Ben Darmstadt.
Whoa.
He loves him.
I wish I could
what?
pick him. Listen. You can go look at the performance he had this spring. Listen, I hope Ben Darmstadt returns to his former form. But until he returns to former form, I got to pick AJ Ferrari. Unfortunately,
Fast twitch machine. Unfortunately, he says.
Well, I would really like to pick Ben Darmstadt, and if I can't pick Ben Darmstadt, I would really like to pick Rocky Elam. But until those two prove they're on the level where they can beat AJ Ferrari, I am going to pick AJ Ferrari.
So that's interesting. But Ben, I think we got to take a different tactic with at this point, Askren, because
what's that?
Well, we've been picking him to win everything, and now I think we need to give him some more bulletin board material because we picked Darmstadt to win everything from NCAAs to the Olympic trials. Now moving forward, Hodge Trophy. So now we've got to flip our tactics to reverse jinx him to greatness. So I'm not going to pick Ben Darmstadt this year. And for me, I think the two best pedigrees are AJ and Braxton. And when I think about the matchup, I think, okay, what is going to be a factor and what doesn't even matter at all? Like, is the mat going to matter at all in this matchup? I don't really think so. Right. So then it's just basically, okay, who do you think is better on their feet? Braxton or AJ? Who's going to get the takedown? I think AJ is probably a little tougher to get to. I think his counter reshot stuff is the best. His double from his knees is really good. Can he double through Braxton Amos head hands? That's what I'm not sure I can envision that yet. And maybe he will. He did the thing as a true freshman. But I've been saying it, so I'm going to stick with it. Even though the first match did not give me a ton of confidence, a rocket booster, I'm sticking with Braxton.
I wish I could delay this pick by 1 week because
Yeah.
we could see Braxton Amos. We could see this weekend Braxton Amos against Jake Woodley,
Oh my gosh.
Pat Bruckey, Cam Caffey.
Oh my gracious.
Wow.
Maybe guys like Panola. We could see him hit a number of ranked guys this weekend. So this would be an easier pick to make. 5 days from now, but I'm going with Braxton as well. Just looking at him at Junior Worlds and the way that he approaches competition, and not just Junior Worlds, but the Last Chance qualifier, looked really, really solid. So I'm going Amos, and hope we need finally that Ferrari Amos match, and I'm picking Braxton Amos.
It is so wild that match has not happened after all these years.
Yeah, we tried to make it happen at Who's Number One a couple years back, but no go. So, okay, that's going to be crazy. This is another one with a lot of, AJ wasn't undefeated last year. He had the loss to Noah Adams. So, he's I think it's a very live field here for sure. Then 285, the bookends of kind of no discussion here. Gable Dan, my gracious.
Don't say anything else.
Don't say anything else. Not even allowed to.
Not even allowed.
He's so dang good. I want to see but of note, as an aside, I want to see where Kirkfleet's at moving forward. We had the tummy time. We had our jokes about the tummy time. He couldn't get off the bottom, but he also basically didn't practice last year.
Yeah.
Which I'm told through the grapevine, practice helps your wrestling. I don't know if Ben can confirm, but I think it helps.
Cannot confirm that.
He can't confirm it.
I want to know what we're going to get out of Tone.
Tone.
Big Tone.
Little Tone now. Because he's all toned up.
Tone.
Yeah. Lean Pocket Cassiope. I'm not sure. Does that have staying power?
Lean Pocket. You ever had those? They were so bad.
No, I would never. I've had Hot Pockets. I've seen the commercials.
Listen, Lean Pockets, this was when I was like a freshman in high school. I was like, You know what's going to be good for cutting weight? This says lean,
Lean
This says lean in the title. Let me eat this.
That got you down.
It's
didn't
ham
it?
and cheese instead of pepperoni. It's got to be good.
Yeah. And
And then you realize, oh, wait, it's not food. It's not actual food.
it has all the sodium in the world. Okay, so lean pockets. We'll see. I'm excited, but to me, it is Gable and
Yep.
Mason and maybe Kirkfleet in that mix, but it's just Gable in reality.
You know who else I'm really curious about at this weight? Not as a title threat, but just seeing the move up. Lucas Davison. He was amazing at U23
Yeah.
trials up at heavyweight, and he just
point.
he has so much offense. Like, where does he fit? I don't know. Maybe in that Hilger Orndorff Andrews round.
Northwestern bulk job.
Yeah, you love to see it.
You know what's so awesome? We're getting wrestling tournaments this week because you think about last year, we didn't get any. We got 0 big donut college wrestling tournaments.
Yeah,
Oof.
So
Ouch.
awesome.
It's great. It's gonna be an awesome year. Okay, so we did that. Dang,
Did that thing.
we should go straight to questions now. I feel
Yes, because that's all the time we have.
that's all the time we have. Okay.
Yeah, I did let Willie answer. I forgot. I should have mentioned Chippewa Falls gang. Coach Lightning Luke Smith, head coach Cal State Bakersfield now. Oh baby.
Lightning Luke Smith. You got to be
Baby.
fast. Lightning is extremely fast. You think Ferraris are fast? Try
As
Lightning.
fast as lightning.
If there was disc golf on Mars, how far could Ben drive? Considering possible wind and lack of gravity, it might go forever. That's from Felix Susek.
Listen. I'm not a scientist. I don't know the answer to that.
Okay. There you
Like,
go.
would it go just way up in the air if there's no gravity? I'm not sure. Like, what's gonna happen?
Yeah.
Is
I
it
don't
gonna
know.
prevent it from spinning because the spin matters? Like,
Yeah, you want to go to Mars, but you may not even be able to get to play your game. And I don't even know if you can wrestle on Mars.
I'll find something to wrestle with.
Oh, okay.
Try me.
Martians. Does Miocic moving up to 41 help Michigan's chances at a title run, or would staying at 33 be the better odds? I would say
Well-
I think it helps.
Helps. Yes.
In a couple ways, but it could be a hindrance. I don't know, because which weight does he have a better chance of winning? 133 probably, right? The idea of him going through Ironman
Yeah.
and Nick Lee and potentially Yanni, a lot more far-fetched than him going through Dayton and or RBY.
And DeSanto.
But in DeSanto. Yes. But what it does for their overall lineup, I think negates that difference, because you get Ragusin in at his optimal weight, you get Jack Medley in. Now, is Jack Medley an All-American at 125? Probably not with the depth of this field. Or he's gonna have to jump some levels to probably do that.
I think Ragusin has a decent chance, which at 141, I don't really know that you have anyone you could put in that category.
Exactly. I don't think they have a 41 that could do what Ragusin can do at 33, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yes, correct.
Okay. Where's the UNC Ohio State breakdown? Can we pull that up and talk through that briefly?
Yeah, for sure. It's linked in the doc.
Boom. Let me click it.
Click the link. It's going to take you right to it.
Let me give Kozak a page view here. Okay, so they've got looking at this, because one of the questions was kind of talk about this match, and I'd like to. So 125, Heinzelman versus Spencer Moore,
Jeez.
who was in cadet trials in April, and now he's on college teams. This has never happened.
That's so funny.
It's so funny. I think it's a big match. I can't imagine Spencer Moore can beat Malik Heinzelman at this point in time. I think he's going to be good, but he's literally, I think he's 17.
Yeah.
And Heinzelman's been around the game. He's a tough guy. He's an All-American contender for sure. He's someone we thought could maybe make a run last year. He's beaten Rayvon Foley. So you like Heinzelman in that one.
Yes.
But not beyond the realm of possibility.
Yeah. 33 is really interesting just to see how Ohio State sends out, because if Andre Gonzalez comes out, then I think that tells you the approach the staff is going to take with this team. It's a true freshman who, Ohio State, we talked about the recruits. They've got a ton of guys coming in, but this is not probably a team that many people are thinking is in a trophy hunt. But if they're going right away with Andre Gonzalez, then that kind of, it's like, all right, well, maybe they're going to be all hands on deck.
I don't see it that way. If they use him, I don't think that's evidence about Patty if they use him.
Really?
No.
Really?
No.
I agree with Bray on this one.
I just don't think Andre is like, if we use Andre, we are going all in this year. That's just my read.
Well, there's
Well,
only one other
yeah.
spot where they're starting a could start a freshman. There's no
True.
other spots where it would make sense.
I just don't think the decisions would be related.
I mean, given the fact that Andre can go down to 113, I think he's gonna be a little bit undersized here.
I don't know what happened with those, but UNC's good. I like Hernandez. I've always been pretty high on Jamie Hernandez. I think at some point he'll put it all together.
Yeah.
I think he probably wins this for UNC. Then 41, maybe it's another one of the marquee matches. Jordan Decatur versus Keyshawn Clark. I would favor Clark in this matchup until I really see Decatur do it against a teammate.
It's really, I mean, Clark is going to be making a pretty big cut, which could be a factor. And then Decatur's getting, moving up. So opposite directions here. If Clark can make the cut effectively, he's going to have a big size advantage. And he is so good when he's on.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I got Clark in this one.
Yeah, he's a little slept on at 23, if I may.
I'm gonna go Decatur.
Really?
Ooh. Okay.
Yeah, I just so if you're coming down a weight class, the hardest thing is duels because you're wrestling right away. Decatur's going up, and so if Keyshawn does not want to wrestle a hard pace, that was the number one Achilles heel for Decatur. So if it's skill for skill, I'm taking Decatur.
Gotcha. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think it's probably a coin flip type of match. 149, probably the marquee matchup. Sammy Sasso versus Zach Sherman. Sherman's good. He's gonna. I think it's not a good matchup for him because he's an attacker. He's offensive, and Sammy's a guy that's great when you're attacking him. And someone like Austin O'Connor, Sherman's teammate, is like a great matchup for Sammy to beat him. I don't think Sherman has that, so I think it's probably Sasso. Might cradle him up if Sherman takes one errant shot. I think Sasso's skill is something you need to feel a couple times before you sort of navigate the finishes. So I think it'll be Sammy. And I think we'll see a more offensive Sammy Sasso here as well.
Yeah. Yeah, I got Sasso.
Then
Sasso.
57, it's, I don't think we see Patty here, but if we do, oh my gosh, Patty Gallagher, Austin O'Connor, that would be super fun. But I don't think it happens. So I think it's a Austin O'Connor win either way, but a dominant Austin O'Connor major to potentially tech fall win.
I don't know if it'll be that one-sided. Looking at Kozak's preview, I didn't realize this, but Hubbard had some good results. He has win over Cam Amin. He's got some good results. I think it's O'Connor clearly, but I think it'll be a decision.
Wow.
And it could be a 5-point, 6-point decision, but I think Hubbard can keep it close, but we'll see.
Okay. Next up, we'll see Sonny Santiago, I think.
Yep.
He'll be taking on Ethan Smith, or Carson Cartella, excuse me. Yeah, and you got to go Cartella here. Excited for this, just to see Carson here. Sonny's is a big recruit, but I think he's not as polished as Carson is at this point.
Cartella had mega knee brace on at the wrestle off, so I hope he's good.
Those always just make me nervous. Every time I see a guy wear them, I'm like, oh no.
Yeah.
Hopefully just precautionary.
And it's got to be so prohibitive in the scrambles and other things to wear one of those things. Mm-hmm. I've never actually worn a super large one, but I had to wear a small one when I had a few minor knee issues, and they were just such a pain in the butt.
Yeah.
174, Ethan Smith versus Gavin Kane. Smith should be a solid favorite here. This is where UNC is going to run into some trouble. This kind of stretch for Ohio State.
Kane, I like Kane's potential here.
Yeah.
I mean, he took out Clay Lout in the wrestle off. He and Jamie Hernandez both, I think, had to beat NCAA qualifiers to make the lineup. So I think Kane is gonna be more ready than his non-ranking indicates. But yeah, it should be Ethan Smith.
Ethan Smith, very good last year.
Okay, 84 Rocky Jordan now versus Mark Che. Now with Rocky, there's the Romero dynamic. He was banged up apparently last week for wrestle-offs, so I don't know.
They didn't do the wrestle off?
He didn't. Caleb did not. No. So they'll probably be figuring out that weight class in a different sort of way. And with that, we'll assume Rocky gets the nod at least early on, and he should be a solid favorite here against Chade.
I agree.
And then 197, Gavin Hoffman versus Max Shaw. This is a coin flip match to me.
I agree.
I think Shaw will probably win it, and then heavyweight Orndorff will be a sizable favorite over Whitman. So it's going to be tough for UNC to win this duel. There's a path to 5 wins maybe for them, but they're gonna be underdogs in quite a few ways. I think bonus points could be the difference. They're gonna need a Sherman to win. Keyshawn's got to win. Jamie's got to win. Then they need Max Shaw and something else to happen as well.
Yeah,
for them to be able to win. So yeah, that duel is that a Saturday duel?
Saturday at 1 Eastern.
Saturday night's all right for fighting.
Our man Kyle Klingman's gonna have a live blog if you can't watch.
Oh man, Andy Hamilton's looking through the MSU Open entries right now. He says going through them right now. Lots of lamers and Mantanonas.
Oh baby.
And Mattins. That's always a good start for any tournament. Okay, next question. I don't want to answer this one because I feel like it could only end in me and or Bray getting yelled at. But he wants to know, after being to a bunch of schools and meeting coaches, if you're the number one recruit right now, where would you commit and why? And Ben, you can't pick Missouri. Where would you go? Let's just make Ben pick against Missouri.
Penn State. I think if you don't let me pick Missouri, I love Missouri. And I think it's Penn State. The development they've had with high level guys is relatively unmatched. I really don't see how you don't pick them.
As a 74-84 type of prospect,
really, except for 25. They suck there. But all the other ones.
Not really. I mean,
they suck at 25. They've had look at those duels we just did a couple weeks ago. They have not been. Nico Megaludis, it was like their only good guy.
Okay, well that's 4 years, and then they had Conaway in there a year he plays. One guy, but 4 years.
I think Conaway plays at 33.
Well, he definitely wrestled at 25. He definitely placed. Did he place only at one of the weights?
Okay.
What I'm wondering.
I'm going to Penn State if I'm a recruit and I'm recruited by everybody. I'm watching the development, and you excluded Mizzou for me. I'm going to Penn State.
I don't know, somewhere in Virginia, probably. Back to the motherland.
It's hard to ignore the success Penn State has had, but the reason this is an impossible question to answer, I think, is tied to the way that wrestling recruiting happens compared to other sports. So I mean, you look at football, for example, and it wouldn't be surprising for Alabama to have the number one recruiting class in the country every year because they have every kid that's on the team is getting scholarships. So you can get all the best kids every year. The 9.9 scholarship thing really limits who you can bring in, and your budget is restricted by that. And the other thing is there are so many schools that are a perfect fit for kids with really specific goals and desires. So, talking with Hunter Garvin last week about Stanford and what's going on there, it's things he can accomplish there and that he wants to get done, he wouldn't be able to do at a lot of other programs where maybe the wrestling emphasis would be better. He can accomplish those goals there. He couldn't somewhere else. That's why this is an impossible question to answer. There's so many different things that go into it. But if you're looking strictly at who's most likely,
pick one.
Who's most likely to develop you, it does appear to be Penn State right now.
Yeah.
Clear right now.
Lightweights, maybe go Iowa. They've got the track record there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Next question. We got question beef here. We may have some question thievery going on here. The real Avery Lynch asked, how do I react to your number one bulldog, Joey Silva, walking off carpet forever? And Comrade JD said, why you copy my question? You mock me. You must be tiny like canary on carpet.
Wow.
Those are fighting words in the motherland. So Avery Lynch, I don't know if you
we can set up a match maybe.
Yeah, we set up the match between the real Avery Lynch and JD from Russia, who is sort of in Russia right now, Serbia.
Yeah, Serbia might as well be Russia. I mean,
They got to be cousins, right?
yeah.
They're cousins. So yeah, I'm obviously sad about Joey Silva. I was very high on his potential. I think he's really good. I hope he changes his mind. And that's all I'll say about it. Was Tuesday Ben's flu game? No, I think it was his.
I didn't play through it.
I think it's his Scottie Pippen game. He just sat out because the play wasn't drawn for him. And
Listen, I came
mad
down
at
here.
Phil
I got on
Jackson.
the show. I didn't sit out. I came down here. You know what? And I'm gonna show you this. I think that I would have had much more confidence in myself. I got a garbage can and it's got wire mesh. Look at it. This is
You
mesh.
got to get a bag in there.
Chris, you know what would happen if I would have puked in this thing?
Yes, I do.
I do.
'Cause I know physics.
That's a Rudis bag.
Could have puked in
You
it.
could have puked in that. That's kind of a bad visual for Rudis for you to
I
vomit in
could've
their
puked
bag.
yeah, I could have. Look at that. I could have.
But it shows the dual purpose of their bags. There you go.
Zip it up.
Yeah,
Put
zip
it on
it
the
up.
shelf.
Save it for later. No odors getting out. Man,
That
that
would've been very
honestly, if you, I'm gonna say this: you have a green light. It's up to you, but green light for anyone here that wants to puke on air and continue the show.
Man.
I allow it. Especially if you're in your own home. There's no here, we have HR and whatnot. There's no HR for Askren's basement.
Yeah.
So you can puke. Keep it going.
Amy Askren, she's making me mad because she's trying to say like, listen, I felt better Tuesday night. She's trying to say like, you're still contagious. I'm saying, no, I'm not. Damn it, I'm not sick anymore. Leave me alone, woman. And she's trying to say, stay away from the kids. Don't touch them and whatnot. I'm like, ugh.
Are you going to practice today?
I went to practice last night. I'm fine. I went
my
to 6
gosh.
Tuesday night.
We'll see how your little mat.
Honestly, I think there's a decent chance that it was food poisoning because I ate some Amy Askren bad jalapenos. Maybe she don't want to claim those bad jalapenos.
Wow. She needs to take some
that.
extreme ownership over her jalapeno choices.
She
Although
needs to
it's-
take ownership over some jalapenos.
Although I'm pretty sure when you told the story about the jalapenos, you said that there was a warning that accompanied from Amy.
She's like, yeah, because she's like, I don't know about these jalapenos. I said, listen, I'm not a sissy. Give me those damn jalapenos.
Yeah, it showed
Was
her.
it just jalapenos? Or was it cooked into something?
Well, no, it was a jar of pickled jalapenos, and I was putting them on top of. I had like a taco bowl.
Gotcha. Okay, I see.
I didn't even know you like
No,
tacos.
I love tacos. I wish I had a taco stand outside my house like you guys have in Austin.
I know. I have one outside my house too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Rick Wasmer said didn't make it to 9 a.m. absent. I think I got up at 8:55.
Oh yeah, we talked about that.
Save 55.
Yeah, you almost made it for the full day.
That's funny.
Bray, tee us up. What is going on this weekend on Flow?
All right. I mean, just in a couple hours, we got U23s. Don't miss that. We got 3 women wrestling for medals, another one in the semis, and men's freestyle coming up after that. We have a duel on Friday between Drexel and Purdue. Michigan State Open live on Flow. 10 really, really good D1 teams. Clarion Open live on Flow. That's going to have some good teams. And a couple high school guys we're really excited to see. Ryan Crookham, we haven't seen him in a long time. He's going to be back in competition against D1 guys. Nick Feldman will be there. The Southeast Open, Virginia Tech, Virginia, App State, Princeton, Columbia sending teams, along with, I know Caleb Henson for sure is a high schooler that's going to throw his hat in the ring. So a lot of really, really good wrestling. And like you said, Ben, tournaments, we didn't get any of those last year. We got 3 opens live this weekend. So I can't wait, especially Michigan State Open.
I mean, we didn't do Tuesday picks.
Oof.
We
Dang
gotta
it.
do them fast. I'm going
Tuesday headline. Ben changes his
Pat-
pick to Braxton Amos at 197.
Patty Gallagher wins Michigan State Open.
Okay.
157.
Ant-Man with 5 falls at the Michigan State Open. That's my pick.
Dude, he would take the lead for the Padres.
Yeah. Ant-Man in the lead for Padres after week 1. That's a good one.
Braxton Amos. Braxton Amos runs the gauntlet at MSU.
All right.
Okay.
Got
we did
him.
it. Good reminder, Ben. Thank you. You're keeping the show
That was
on the
actually
rails.
Ross Patton.
Shout out
chat.
Ross Patton. We
Right,
appreciate
Facebook
you.
chat.
General Ross Patton.
I did salute him. Yeah, I think I just knew Patton, right? Okay. He could be a descendant. And for all we know, we don't know what he could be in the military.
He could be a general. He could be a captain. I don't know.
Lieutenant first class. I don't know. But we got to go. It's 9:45.
Peace.
Thank you guys so much. Ben is feeling better. Bad Belly Ben is back in full effect. Thank you guys so much for listening. Fun week of FRL. We will be back next Tuesday. JD won't be back, I don't think. He is the property of Serbia now. He's close to the motherland. We will see you, though. We will be here. Hopefully David's back on Tuesday. Thanks a lot. Have a great week and watch lots of wrestling. 'Tis the season. Goodbye.